y'all? I am EMC, MNG,
And I am Master Shadow.
and together we are Deep Sector.
With another one. Another tale from the deep. Yeah. Thanks for joining us for another week. Like, share, subscribe, everybody. Appreciate everyone for tuning in, joining our journey. And yeah, let's get another one rolling. Let's talk about life.
Yes.
There's a lot going on in life every day.
Quite. Never stops.
Yeah, we
Continuous.
Yeah, for real. So, as we proceed to give you what you need, shout out to the people out there, kind of going through some stuff. We got a lot happening. Our Texans, just, that whole situation in Texas, the shooting, and my condolences out there to the families and the parents and everyone that's just involved in that situation. That affects, the whole state, of people and of their, environment. So much love, y'all. Peace to y'all out there. Take it easy, stand strong, and it's one of those things we just kind of got to get through.
Yeah, peace and love, man. It's a sad tragedy. This shit doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's it's played out at this point.
I'm telling you, Pete, it's getting to a point, because like I said, I was telling you before the podcast, the New York shooting,
yeah,
it looked like a fucking game to this dude. It was ridiculous, bro.
So you're referring to the recording he did as he was
yes,
doing it, right?
the video's down. Nobody really has this video, but I seen the video. It was actually kind of scary. Mm-hmm. That a dude literally, bro, walks up, starts shooting old people and stuff. Yeah. They weren't doing anything, nothing at all, and he's like, it's like first person, so it's like you're watching Call of Duty or something.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, bro, this dude. I don't even know if it's like, I don't even know how to look at it anymore, because you kind of want to be like conspiracy theorist and say the government's doing it. But at the same time, people grow up playing these types of video games and stuff like that. And real talk, I remember growing up, my parents never used to want me playing Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that because they felt like it would influence me certain types of ways. Mm-hmm. But I had a certain grip on my mentality to not let myself go off the deep end that far. Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people don't have that type of grip on themselves to be able to be like, no, I'm not gonna go into that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people get these types of thoughts, and and not everybody acts on them. You feel me? Because I've talked to a lot of people that talk about getting crazy thoughts, and yeah, you just don't act on them, bro. You could think crazy, or just. It's about your actions, you know, and then there's people like that who actually go and fucking do it, and it's really terrible. It's not a thing that should be a thing, at all, in reality, and it's a point to where this is actually kind of serious. We really got to give a serious look at what we're feeding ourselves mentally and internally, because. It's overcoming us, or more or less coming over us to the point to where we can't overcome it, and it's just a wild experience. I can't believe we're in this position right now to deal with this type of stuff. It's happened for so long now, and we've seen so much tragedy from things like this. I find it hard to believe that we're still going through this, man. And like I said, it's kind of looking like it's starting to become a game. And I think this is when we need to really take a serious look, because people are thinking this is just for fun.
I think people are really, some people, really just detached from reality, And I was talking to somebody at work, I think part of it, has to do with love, I just think, some people just don't have that love, that nurturing that they need to show them. Because I don't know, I'm not in anybody's mind. I don't know anybody else's motives, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own reasons for whatever they do. But, it's crazy to think that someone would go and just be so violent, and respond so violently to people, like you said, not doing anything, going about their shopping, going to school, and I feel they have a lack of empathy, that they don't realize that, that could be them. They could be sitting there in this classroom learning when someone busts in through the door and wants to kill them, and I think it's that lack of understanding, that lack of compassion for others, which could be you, but, maybe they don't even love themselves, maybe they never taught to love themselves or even have, as an understanding of what that is, and it's an issue with, education in general, that we as humans, I feel times fail to educate the younger generations, what we truly know. Maybe we feel like we don't want to like impose and, force people to be, to our doctrine. But at sometimes, you got to share your understanding, maybe if it's, not everything is a conversion, you're not trying to, at least that's how I am. When I talk to people, I preface almost everything with, I believe, I think, because that's what I believe. I think, how I perceive the world based off my experiences and my, knowledge, and it shouldn't be the same for everybody, but, it's good to, share things with people, regardless, and like we were talking about before, it is hard for some people because they think you're, attacking them and trying to, destroy their reality. Like we talked about in the previous, cast, it's kind of like a puzzle, with every experience, every, interaction, you're building a puzzle, and getting a better, bigger picture of what reality is, and I think, like I said, some people think their puzzle's finished, and they close themselves off and they're not open to anything else. And, in my opinion, it's never finished. You're always building this, understanding of what it is. And, if you just cut yourself off and maybe you're never even, taught to open yourself up, it can be hard. And I can imagine people, seeing these video games, seeing these things and, thinking like, oh, I could do that. This is something I could do. And, it's because they don't have that, because for me, that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not too deep in, like empath and all that stuff, but I truly feel like I am an empath. I feel people's, I feel things, like I think like if that was me, in that situation, how would that affect me? Cause I would hate to go and, just fly off the handle and, hit somebody for no reason, cause what if that was me? What if I was just chilling there? Someone flies off the handle and just hits me for no reason, like I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't appreciate that.
Yeah. And
it's just, I don't know. I feel like it starts with love and compassion and the lack thereof,
I definitely agree, because like I kind of grew up rough, I feel like I didn't get a lot of the love I could have used growing up. And I got more than most, though. I'll say that because there's people that have absolutely nobody.
But that's not to say it's an excuse, though, either. But yes.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, but I have had urges because of that lack of love and compassion growing up to be violent and aggressive with people, and I've seen that in a lot of my family members too because of that same, occurrence in their life, just not enough compassion and love, and they're acting out and, robbing, stealing from people and all this and that, and that definitely, I feel that love and compassion is a good basis to help somebody shift, to take off into the world, to be able to be okay with, with others and be able to operate with others. And if you don't have that, it's really hard to be able to do that. If you really aren't determined to figure something out for yourself, and especially if you just completely go into the darkness and you're like, nobody absolutely loves me. This shit don't even fucking matter. It don't matter if I go kill, do this or that, the other. That's not going to matter, and that's how I feel like people might be thinking too. They just think nothing matters, and which in part can be true, but it doesn't mean you go and kill fucking the world, bro.
Yeah,
because nothing matters, and it's just ridiculous, like I always think about how my teacher brought the idea of fighting to me. You know, like, are you gonna fight this dude because he calls you a bitch? You know, like, because we fight to kill. We don't just fight just to fight. You know, we fight to kill. So, are you gonna kill him because he's calling you a bitch? Is it really that freaking serious, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit really hit me. You know, I was like, you're right. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't want to kill somebody just because of just something small. Like you. The only time you should ever use something to that degree is when your life is threatened or your loved ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's been a huge eye opener for me. You know, like I've always loved to fight. You know, and I never really started fighting until I felt like I had to. You know, but there came a point to where I realized I love fighting, and I just fought just because I love fighting. And I was like trying to beat people up or trying to be the biggest and baddest and toughest dude around, or I thought I was, and I didn't even want to be like that because that's not even who the fuck I am. Like yeah, I'm tough and I'm and I'm strong, but I'm not trying to be bigger and badder than anybody else, bro. I'm just trying to be myself. You know, like I don't know where I started getting these freaking thoughts. You know, like definitely my middle school years and just the influences around me that I wasn't unaware of and wasn't ready to deal with. But now, as I'm older, I'm seeing how these things have carried with me and influenced me throughout the years. And I'm like, is that how I want to live? Is that how I really want to be? You know, every time that something like this happens, you know, and then now I'm like thinking. You know, before I just used to be and just used to do based off of everything around me, you know, and there was a certain impulse in me that I would listen to sometimes, but I didn't know what it was or what it was trying to do for me. But now I'm seeing my behaviors and what I've carried with me throughout the years. And I'm like, man, I've really been this way. You know, and I don't have to be like that. And a lot of times you just don't know how to be. You know, I completely get it. Like nobody shows you, bro. Like, especially when all you've seen your whole life is violence, drama, you know, and just abuse. You feel me? Like that's all you've seen your whole life, you don't know how to do anything other than that sometimes. Even if you think otherwise, that's not the way to be, so that shit still carries with you in a way, and it affects you. And you might not even notice how that affected you. You know, I had to dig really deep to see that there was something fucking severe, like seriously wrong with me, kind of, you know, like internally. And like, if you don't give a fuck, bro, like if you really don't care about anything, that I would advise you to really check on yourself, because you're going through something and you're not seeing it, you know. And like my brother Joey said, you know, because he used to live criminal like, you know, and he would do things and he would just do them without thinking. He wouldn't even care. It wasn't like a thought process for him to think otherwise. You know, and he went through a lot of therapies and stuff like that, and they were talking to him about how that's not healthy, bro. It's not healthy to not care.
Yeah.
You know, there's something going on, and you just don't see it. You know, and grace to my brother Joey for making it out the darkness, but like it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, like there's really underlying traumas and stuff like that we hide from. And we just got to take a really hard look at ourselves sometimes, you know.
Definitely.
And really be open to figuring it out with ourselves, because it'll do a lot for you in the end. You know what I'm saying? You'll thank yourself when you show yourself some love and attention, you know, that nobody else wanted to give you.
No, definitely. Self-care is definitely important. And, you know, yeah, you definitely, when you don't care, yeah, you get reckless. You know, you don't give a shit.
That fuck it attitude.
Yeah,
That whole fuck it attitude. There are certain things you got to you got to say fuck it about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
believe that.
It's not.
You know?
Yeah, it applies to certain things.
Exactly, but you just got to know how to moderate these thought processes
Definitely.
and know how to use them.
And it's not easy. You know,
It's a process.
I'd be getting like wild ass thoughts, you know, and like urges to do certain things that, you know, would be heavily frowned upon.
Yeah,
but
for
you know,
sure.
it's about you know, choices and you know, having that, you know, mindset or just, you know, the internal, I guess, check on yourself. You know, like you're saying, just to like think about what you're thinking. You know, like don't just think it, but think about it. You know,
Yeah.
and like, cause yeah, you know, like I've had a million wild thoughts that go through my head just in a day. You know, and if I had acted on, you know, half of them, you know, I'd be in prison somewhere already.
True.
You know, so I mean,
Me
it's
too.
it's choices, man. You know, and
For
it's,
real.
it's crazy though too, because I mean, you know, not everybody's at the same place mentally and physically, you know, and like it's crazy, you know, just even like, you know, lead in the water can lead to, you know, people. I honestly think one of my theories is that, you know, since it's like I think it was like the 50s and stuff, you know, lead was in everything, you know, like they had lead in the gas and shit. And like, you know, that gets everywhere. It contaminates everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like a lot of, I don't know how the science lines up and stuff, but from my understanding of it, you know, I could be wrong, but this is just kind of how I've like kind of traced it in my mind. But I think that, you know, all the lead and stuff that was in the air and the water, you know, that led to, you know, mothers ingesting it and, you know, passing on to their kids. I think a lot of that led to, you know, like our previous, you know, lack of a better word, dark age, you know, where, you know, people, I mean, I hate following generalizations. Everything's different, you know, everything's vast, but, you know, it felt like for a while there, you know, people were just, you know, they didn't want to learn, you know, they were stuck in their ways and, you know, it was, I don't know. It seemed like, obviously, I feel like dark ages go up and down, you know, especially in this day and age, in these times. It's hard to even say when is, when isn't. But, you know, I feel like that all the lead in the water and the air and stuff led to, you know, people not being able to make decisions right, you know, being able to be, you know, to stop and think and, you know, discern all these things and make adequate choices because the lead, you know, in the water affected people's brains.
Have you heard about the lithium in the water nowadays?
Probably same shit. I mean, there's everything in the water these days, man.
That's
The
what I'm
water's not
saying.
even
You know, like,
safe
but I
to
know
drink.
that the lithium, from what I hear, is supposed to make you like a zombie. Like you're like mindless, pretty much. And I don't know if it's in like all the water, but I know it was a thing. You know, whenever I first started getting into like a lot of conspiracies and stuff, and they're all like fluoride and all this in the water. Then they're gonna put lithium in the water and they're gonna make everyone mindless and they're gonna be all stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I don't know, you know, I don't know the truth, you know, exactly behind that, but it's an interesting thought, you know. But whether that is an actuality or not really don't matter to me exactly, you know, because I feel like even if there was, we're kind of starting to think a little more.
Actually, dude, look at Flint. You know about Flint, right?
I know Flint, Michigan. Yeah, I kind of forget though.
I'm pretty sure they still got, you know, fucked up water, man. Like it's, you know, it's crazy to think that in this day and age, you know, in America, you know, we have, you know, cities and towns that have, you know, they're drinking fucking sewage water, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a first world country, you know. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
I guess it's kind of humbling though. It's kind of.
I mean, yeah, no, definitely makes me grateful. I mean, shit, our water could be worse, but I mean, you know, even then, there's still lead in it. There's still, you know, PFAS, all this other fucking shit, dude. It's, you know, it's bad. You know, it's not good. And all these corporations, you know, they just get away with it.
Yeah, and they don't care.
No, they don't give a shit. It's about profits. Profits over
Straight up.
people. Always.
It's always the money.
Yeah, man.
Like they say, money's the root of all evil. You know, I see why they say that.
Dude,
Because people
it doesn't even go in the grave
manipulate
with you. You know, like, what
Yeah.
the fuck, man? Like, people are so fucking stupid. Like, you can live luxurious now. Yeah, that's great. You know, but then what? You know? Like, what about your great grandkids? You know, what about the life they're going to lead? You know, they're now fucked and doomed to, you know, die a slow death. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I try to think about the coming generations because we're leaving a footprint, you know, as we leave.
Do you got an ashtray?
Take off. Yeah. So I'm trying to lead footprints to better places.
Definitely.
You know, footprints to better places because where the footprints have been leading us now are not so great.
Yeah, man, we need a game plan. You know, we need to just think and get together and, you know, make some good decisions. You know, not based on profits. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, that's how a lot of things move and shake in reality. You know, you need money to get things done, but, you know, there's more than that.
We need each other more than anything to get things done. How we not realize that?
Yeah, man.
Like straight up, bro.
Can't do it all by yourself.
Yeah, right? No, bro. There's no way. I've tried to do everything by myself. It's just it's physically impossible, especially in this day and age. Maybe that's what they're trying to teach us too, on a subtle level. They're like, we need each other, y'all. Watch, we're gonna show you. We need each other. We need each other.
I actually think it plays into the idea that, like, you know, you can't be the jack of all trades. I mean, you can try, you know, and become efficient in a lot of different things. Now, there's no denying that.
But you can't be the best at everything.
Yeah, you know, like you can't be the best electrician and the best soccer player. I mean, somebody can. You know, that's not impossible. But, you know, it's like
there comes a point to where you can only do so much.
It's like we were talking about. You know, it's like here, we'll use this analogy. You know, it's like if you're trying to ride a bike and pack a bowl, right? So I mean, you know, you can do both, you know, but you know, it'd obviously be better if you did, you know, either pack the bowl or you either rode the bike. You know, doing both is, you know, you're doing both half-ass. You know, because you're focusing on two different things as opposed to one that you could put 100% attention on and get done quicker, as opposed to two things you're trying to get done at once. You know, it would take longer. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I forgot where I was going with that, but, you know, it's important to just, like, you know, be mindful of that. You know, that you can multitask, but it's good to be, you know, focused on stuff. And so, you know, it's good to have a team. You know, so it's good to have someone who's focused in this area and you're focused in this area. You work together, boom, you guys can build something unique.
Exactly. That's what we're all here for. You know what I'm saying? You know,
everybody plays their part.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on too, finding my niche, you know, where my part is, where my role is, you know, and it's been an interesting journey. It really has been, you know. It's brought me to some wild places. It's brought me some crazy realizations, and I feel like I'm going somewhere, and I'm getting somewhere with myself, at least, you know. And I'm actually learning how to actually work with everyone else, because I feel like that's my weakest part, you know. Because I honestly, I feel like as a kid I was kind of neglected in certain areas because I didn't know how to talk to people. You know, nobody talked to me really enough when I was a kid, I feel like. So I didn't really learn to communicate so well. And it was hard for me to communicate for a long time. And can't remember where I was going with that. But
you were neglected with communication?
Yeah, I had to learn how to break out of that. You know, once I started seeing that was actually a thing, I was like, well, I could let it just completely shut me off from the world, or I could learn how to work with everyone else, you know. And it's been taking me some time, but that's definitely been like a huge part of my learning right now, especially, is just being okay with help, because I've always felt like I had to do everything myself. You know, my whole life I had nobody here for me, so I'm like, fuck it, I guess I got to do it myself. I got to figure it out for myself, and I carried that thought process with me for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, even though that was a reality that I lived for a long time, that's not exactly the way it has to be. And honestly, it's like literally almost impossible to live by yourself. Humans need interaction. You know, everything needs interaction. Like birds, bro. Have you you noticed how the birds they don't wake up chirping as much anymore? You notice that?
Not really.
Because we don't pay attention to them, bro. I'm telling you, we don't pay attention to stuff like that. Like I feel like the birds used to try to communicate with us. That's always like good morning, you know, and like you know we would talk to the birds, and you know we used to talk to the like stuff like that, and people just kind of got stuck in themselves. And I noticed since I talk to birds, I talk to nature, you know, I talk to the animals, and I notice a difference with how it is with me. Birds are always chirping around me. There's always crows like caw. They're always interacting with me. They know that there's some type of connection, you know, and we thrive off that connection. And it's like nature is sad. We're not connecting enough with it anymore, you know, and I've been outside a lot lately because I have my car situation and everything. So I've been like on the bus and I've been kind of outside. So I've been around a lot of like birds and just in nature a lot more. And it actually kind of brought me to this realization. When I was younger, right, 15, 16 years old, I went everywhere on the bus.
Yeah.
I was always outside for like pretty much like probably more than half the day, you know, and got a lot of sun, a lot of nature, fresh air all the time, you know. But since I grew up, I've been working. I have a car. I'm always inside. I've been always inside probably for most of the day. Or probably even all day sometimes. Like, when's the last time I was outside? Might get 20, 30 minutes here or there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a lot more depressed because of that. I feel like.
You don't get your vitamin D.
Exactly. Because the vitamin D and the vitamins from the sun create those certain neurotransmitters that make you happy and stuff like that.
Serotonin flow.
Nature therapy is real. You know, like that's why it's a thing. Because nature heals.
But I love the hikes. You know, hiking is
that hike that hike, bro, was great. I love fucking hiking, bro. Like we gotta get one of those in every so often for sure. You know what I'm saying? Just to get out and you know come out of ourselves a little bit. Because like I said, you know, whenever you go to a place like that, your thought process is more open for some reason.
You're a dish, not an antenna.
Straight up. You're a dish, not an antenna.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. Yeah. Life's a trip, man. Much to learn.
But that's my take on that. We definitely gotta get more in tune with each other, with nature, everything around us.
Definitely.
Connect because we thrive off that connection. And whether we see it or not, it really kills, bro, when we lack that connection with people and just what's around us.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel alone, because we don't feel connected with each other. We separate ourselves, and we're just with ourselves all the time, stuck in ourselves. Like, ooh. We got to come out of ourselves, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's, you know, we are a community. Like I've said it before, you know, we have a lot more in common than we'd have, you know, separate or different, you know. It's, you know, we all are, you know, we're a lot of the same. You know, we're humans. We bleed the same blood. We have a lot of the same organs and stuff in us. You know, all that's different is just our mindsets.
That's the common ground we need to stand on is humanity, bro. Like,
yeah,
we're all human.
Definitely.
Like, nobody's greater or less than another, regardless of your ability range. And we just gotta be understanding,
exactly.
You know, of things a little more and of each other.
Yeah, everybody plays the game their way. You know, the way that they, you know, feel will lead them to, you know, victory. Exactly. And it's like in Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know, I don't know if you caught that part, but when her husband, you know, was telling her, you know, like, you know, you probably always thought me as like weak and stuff, you know, but you know, that's how I fight. You know, like he fights differently. You know, like he goes about it differently. He's more strategic. You know, he's not like obviously ready to go and bear arms. You know, but he's gonna communicate. He's gonna, you know, reason rather than, you know, go to straight war, because that's how he fights. You know, and everybody's different. Like we're talking about, everyone has their own specific skill set and, you know, attributes that they are, you know, hone and become very good at and are a key asset for.
It's exactly like I was saying about martial arts, bro. It's the expression of conflict, you know, and conflict expresses in so many different ways rather than just physical violence. You feel me? And I started realizing that in my martial arts journey, that I'm fighting also just with my voice and my words and, you know, my thoughts, you know, and you fight. You're like, life is a fight, you know, like it kind of is. You're fighting for your life.
You're fighting to stay alive.
Yeah, every day, you know. Like when you're younger, you kind of don't think about it. You feel me? You just do it.
Yeah, it's kind of nurtured, you know, take care of and stuff.
But once you're on your own, now you realize, dang, this is life. And it really is a fight. You know, it's survival of the fittest, you know, who thinks the best and who can be the best, really, a lot of the times. And that's the stigma, I think, that is really compelling us to try and be better or see better, or, you know what I'm saying? But it's a troubling viewpoint because it creates such division. And regardless if it applies or not, it does create that division and it puts people down, you know? And maybe that's what it's supposed to do. I don't freaking know, but it's kind of weird. It's a weird thing, you know? Because of how I'm thinking about it now, it's almost like it's trying to make us correct ourselves and see where we're all at and then level up from there, in a way, you know? If we can all get over the fact that we're at different points and be okay with that, you know? It doesn't matter to be at a different level than the next person. There's always going to be that person, you know, who's at a higher level or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And
it's just about your journey, you know what I'm saying? And carrying that out. Like, that's why, like, it's a good proverb, the Chinese proverb, where they were like, comparison is the thief of joy. It's true. When you compare your journey or anything that you got to another person, you make yourself feel like you're less because you don't have what they have or something like that. And that shit don't fucking matter, bro. Like, we're putting importance on things that are just insignificant. And it was like, all right, Carino, right? He was talking about like just how immature we are as a collective, kind of. And because Slim Thug or somebody came on a picture and he was wearing some kind of ghetto shoes, and people were like, "Oh, you should have better shoes than that." And fuck, what did I say first to start that?
Having to prove yourself. Like Slim Thug should have been wearing better shoes. Reno.
Yeah. I kind of forget exactly where I was going, but I'm going to touch on all that. But, like, it's almost there. Hold on.
Like being boastful, showing off.
Yeah, we think we have to be a certain type of way just to live life, or to, you know. So, like, when Reno brought that up, he was talking about,
like, you have to have Jordans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to have Jordans. Like, what the fuck does that matter? Why do we put such importance on something so insignificant? You know, like, don't we all live? Like, there comes a point, like he was talking about, it comes a point in your life, at least there should come a point in your life where you just don't care about what people think. You know, you're going to wear this because you want to wear this. Or you're going to do this because you want to do this. And there comes a point where you just don't care about opinions anymore. And people, like, he brought up how in high school you would make fun of somebody, you know, because they don't got this or that when they're growing up. They don't have these type of Jordans. And like how childish that type of thought process is. And he's like, you got grown ass people in the comments that are saying this stuff, and it's like, dude, have we not gotten out of high school? Like, what? Like, who cares? Who cares about what kind of shoes he's wearing? You know, like, as long as he ain't hurting or like doing no wrong, like who cares about how he's living his life? If that dude really wants to fucking be a homeless person and live out there doing drugs, panhandling, who the fuck cares, bro? Let him live his life. As long as he ain't hurting nobody or doing no fucking wrong. Is he robbing you? No, bro, he's asking you for some fucking money. If you don't want to give it to him, oh well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we put such importance on on things that don't fucking really matter. And we'll get past it, but I think we just got to be aware of that, you know, like.
See, so I think, you know, and it's because it's varied, right? You know, because like what matters, like we were talking about, nothing matters last time, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it only matters to you. You know,
Exactly.
like you give things meaning. You know, we give everything meaning. You know, things matter to us. And I mean, collectively, you know, things matter to people as groups. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it is, you know, it's a kind of perspective, you know. But then again, like, you know, we all agree, you know, that matters. That matters. But yeah, man, it's wild.
And he brought up just like, why don't we look at people's merits or their actions, you know, how they are instead of just what they have.
Because I think it's, yeah, you know, it's part of societal agreements. You know, we've come to this point where we've agreed, you know, in certain circles, you know, that, someone they're balling if they're, you know, they got Jordans, they got a chain, you know, they got a nice haircut. Like, oh, that's a baller. You know, that dude's, they're living it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's because, you know, it's agreements, you know, that we've come to accept.
And he said that too. He's like, the people that look like they got it or look like they don't got it, sometimes got it, you know, but the people that that look like they got it don't always got it. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
And yeah, because they're just trying to act like something, you know, or be, you know, but
it's, you know, we talked about it before, you know, it's all about, you know, in a way it's like image, you know, people are trying to, you know, portray the best, the baddest, the coolest, you know, the hottest, you know, and be that guy or person, you know, him or her. And it's interesting because, yeah, you know, everyone's just trying to prove something, you know, and once you realize that there's nothing to prove, you know, that you don't have to prove shit to anybody, you're free, man. Because who gives a fuck, bro? Who gives a shit what you think about me when I think about you? Like, you shouldn't. I don't. You know, it's like,
and we shouldn't even be putting those types of thoughts on each other like that, you know, because we know, like, at this point, especially, we're seeing how it's the division it creates.
Definitely.
You know, it's like social media is freaking ridiculous with that shit, bro. People were talking shit left and right. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'll talk shit, bro. I never used to talk shit, but now I use it just to be comedic, you know, or if I feel like someone needs to see something.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? About their character or something. I'll make a joke about maybe their ethic of things or something, you know, and it'll be joking, but I'll be kind of true because it's actually pertaining to you or whoever I'm talking to, you know, so I'm like, you know, but I try to be joking because I'm not trying to freaking be aggressive and harsh anymore. You feel me? I used to be straightforward, and I'll tell you, you're fucking up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't know how to take shit like that, and they kind of get mad when you tell them like they're wrong. You know, like that. So
yeah,
you gotta be able to reach them differently, and that's one thing I've been working on is trying to like get to people differently. Because a lot of the ways I was doing before, it just wasn't working.
No doubt.
And it was creating conflict.
It is, you know, it's strategy. You know, it's all about approach. Because, yeah, you know, like, if you, you know, you go to somebody aggressively, but you're trying to share something, you know, like, oh, look, here's some knowledge, you know, but, oh, wait, no, whatever you think is wrong, you know, this is the right stuff. You know, like, this is the truth. You know, anything besides this is stupid. And
they're going to feel attacked.
Yeah, you know, they're going to hate you. They're not going to, like, you know, want to listen to you anymore.
Yeah, fuck no, bro.
It's like, what?
Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you to tell someone? Like, that's one thing I keep reminding myself. Like, who am I to tell anybody anything? Like, about life or Like real talk, you know, like this is my experience. That's why I like how you say like this is how I see it, because I do that too. I make sure that I use that like those pronouns and stuff like that because I don't want to try to push it like this is the way. I'm not trying to convert anybody. Like I'm just trying to share what I've experienced in my own, you know, knowledge of things, because that's what we do with each other, you know, and whether that has something for other people or not isn't for you to decide, you know, and we got to like let stuff out of like that out of our hands, you know, and we got to let people be people, and we're going to grow better together at that point, you know, once we just let that happen, you know, live and let live. You feel me? Like real shit.
Yeah, it's wild, man. You know, people are killing for ideas out there. You know,
Straight up, they've been doing it for centuries.
yeah,
It's
nothing
crazy.
new, nothing new. And you know, it does make me grateful. You know, to be in the country that we are, and for you know the liberty that we do have to be able to.
And the time period we're in, bro.
Yeah, it's
Who knows if time travel or anything existed? You know, like we don't exist 60 years ago. You know, like it was tough 60 years ago. You know, really tough.
I know it is a wild time though. You know, I think about that too. You know, to be like to have the technology that we do have, and you know, it's the. I mean, I don't know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, I feel like this is, you know, this is the time to be alive. You know, it might not be like the pinnacle of our society or whatever, but I mean, for you know, technology and the things that we can see and understand, and the understanding we have of just
The range
everything.
of communication that is at hand, if we learn how to use it properly. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we're really advanced right now, and like I the only stagnancy I see is us in us is in each other, because we're just disconnecting, you know, a little bit too much from each other. Like you need to disconnect sometimes, but not like to the point to its isolation.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like we got people that are alone and shit like this, you know, and it shouldn't be like this. People, you know, that's why suicide is going up, you know, because people just don't want to be there for each other anymore a lot of the times. And it's tough. You know, people get caught up in life and other things, and check on your people. Don't forget that.
Yeah, man, definitely. You know, everybody's going through it. You know, shit's hard for everybody. You know, it's some people just know how to play it off better than others.
Straight up. Some people are barely hanging on. You don't even know it.
Yeah, man, it's real. Shit's tough, man. You know, like, you know, you see these like big actors, you know, like Robin Williams, or you know, just these people who, like, you know, obviously they're people who are out there, you know, in the public eye, you know, and you know, they portray a happy face, you know, but at the end of the day,
yeah, freaking Juice WRLD, you know, like he's a keynote for the depression in music, you know. He spoke what he felt in his music. He was a great artist, you know, and he accomplished many things, but he was going through a lot, you know, and he ended up going off the deep end and you know, dying from it in the end. R.I.P. Juice WRLD. And
yeah, man.
yeah, man, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. Mental health is a real thing, you know. So always check on yourself, check on everyone else. You know, like it's just. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, like, I don't know. I have a different mind about things, but I do appreciate when people care to check on me. You know, like I'd be like, oh, I'm all right. I'm always good. You know what I'm saying? But deep inside, I do care. I do appreciate that. You know, like that you actually care to be like, hey, you good? You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure everybody feels the same way. So even just that, you know, one person, you might be that one person for that one person, bro, to be like, hey, you good? That could keep them going forever. You never know. Straight up. You know, and it's good to be mindful of things like that. You know?
Definitely, man. Communication is important. You know, it's not good to just hold all this stuff in and, you know, let it boil. Because, yeah, you know, I said it before. You know, you If you don't vent, you overheat, you know, and it's, you just got to talk, you know, if you can find somebody or, you know, a therapist or whatever, you know, someone just to talk to, someone to listen, you know, so you can share your ideas and your day and just let it out, you know, because it's hard, man, you know, it really is.
Yeah, I know I have a problem with sharing. It comes back to that trauma thing, bro, where I just felt like I had no one, you know? So it's like, it's not even like that anymore. I don't know why I still am living in that mindset in certain areas of my life, you know? I'm like, I've been realizing that lately. And
It's habits, man.
Different. Yeah, habits. It's all habits, you know. It's just, you got to evaluate yourself constantly. And like I said, check on yourself, you know, see where you're at, see what applies now, you know, because I always say that the truth is subject to change, you know, like it's in this plane, it's relative, and there may be some absolute truths, but we don't know all of them, you know, and a lot of the truths that we are aware of may change at some point. Because I've experienced this for myself. My own truths have changed. You know? But there's still some things that have stood the same. Now, I can't just go off the top of my head right now, but, you know, there's certain things that are, you know, like compassion. You don't being compassionate and kind. That's always stuck with me. Because I know how that affected me when people weren't like that for me, you know, and how I responded. And the effects of things are real.
Definitely, man. You know, and see, like, that's why, like, it's interesting sometimes, like, when I see how some people, like, treat their kids, you know, because, you know, I was a kid, you know, I'm sure that person was a kid, you know, but it's like when it goes back to empathy, you know, it's like, you know, that kid's going to remember that, you know, maybe not like everything or like even this instant, but, you know, if you know the patterns of people, because people are all about patterns, you know, it's, you know, they're going to remember these things, you know, they're not just going to forget, you know, that time you decided to do this or that, you know, that they're human beings. They feel, they think, they, you know, they're just young. You know, they still have a lot of the things we have now. It's just, you know, they're still developing it. They're still trying to understand what it is. But it doesn't mean that they don't remember that shit. Because, like, that's one thing that psychedelics really, like, blew my mind open with. Just, like, I think I talked about it before. Just the idea of, like, thinking, you know, and how much you think and, like, ponder. And it's like, you know, there have been times where I've just sat and just, like, rethought over whole parts of my life, you know, based off, like, one memory and kind of just, like, scanned through it. And then, you know, reevaluated how that played into my future and, you know, choices I've made. And it's like, wow, you know, like these things affected me. You know, I may have not noticed it then, but there's a reason I remember that. You know, I don't remember that just because it happened. You know, it holds weight. You know, there's a lesson and like a reason it stuck to me because, you know, I felt a certain way. My emotions, you know, were affected. You know, my mind was altered based off of the chemicals that were, you know, being released. And it caused, you know, me to remember that. And, you know, but why? And so I think about these things, and it blows my mind sometimes because it's like, you know, that was a fucked up moment. It's like, you know, and it's like, you know, like it's wild. Because you ever seen that movie Inside Out?
I don't think so.
It's a Disney movie. It's kind of like about like, you know, inside this like growing girl's, you know, body as like, you know, but there's like emotions, you know, there's like sadness and joy and a bunch of different emotions, like anger and essentially like, you know, her like life and how like they, you know, interact with it. Like they're the ones who like push the lever to, you know, activate anger and, you know, but it's like, it's just interesting to see how like the emotions, you know, play.
I think I might have seen that actually. It sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's an interesting movie, but yeah, man, emotions.
Yeah, for real though. I've done that same stuff, you know, like that's kind of what I'm talking about right now with my trauma and looking at it from the past when it happened, you know, how it affected me all to now. And
Yeah.
it's like, when you start really looking at yourself like that, that's when you really start changing, I feel like. You know? Because, especially if you actually want to change. If you feel like that's a like issue, you know, and you're like, well, I need to do something different. You know? Then that's when you start changing. You know? Because, yeah, a lot leads to each moment. You know? And triggers, they say triggers, that's your, those are your guides, you know, to your traumas, to what's going on with you.
Trauma. Yeah, man, it's real. You know, it's good to, you know, yeah. You got to figure out why you hold on to these things, I think, you know, and let go. You know, think it through, understand it, get your lessons from it. You know, let it go.
Exactly.
No need to hold on to it. Like, I've come to realize, you know, it truly just hurts you. You know, like if it's a grudge with somebody or anything like that, you know, or, you know, a moment in time, you know, like you're the only one. I mean, maybe the other person is thinking about it too, but, you know, you're the only one who has to deal with it right now. You know, you're the one who's constantly breaking your mind to, you know, avoid these scenarios and thoughts and things because, you know, choices. But yeah, man.
Life's a trip. The great axiom.
Hey, Julius, let's take the shot.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, this shot's just been kicking.
Yeah, it's been kicking in. It's been a while. Life's a trip.
Big one.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
Juicy. Man, peace and love reign
and
forever.
love.
Across eternity.
Yeah. You said great and forever?
Reign forever.
Oh, reign forever across eternity. Yeah.
Everlasting. Truly infinite.
The Ouroboros circle of existences.
What's that about?
Oh, the Ouroboros is a snake biting its own tail.
Oh.
So it means like
Yeah.
death and rebirth. You know?
The phoenix.
Yeah, pretty much.
Constant
exactly.
cycle.
Exactly. The same concept. Eternity.
Bunch of different snakes.
Bunch of different snakes. But I seen you had them cards over there. I thought you was finna pull them out or something.
Yeah, we got steeped in some pretty deep conversation there.
Yeah, we did. We did. That was some good shit.
Yeah, I'm down for some 21 or something.
Let's do it. That's an interesting card case.
Yeah. Does the trick.
It does the trick. Yeah. Here we go. Waterproof. Clear playing cards. Hoyle. Check them. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Hoyle.
Hoyle. I'm pretty sure you get these from Walmart.
Correct.
I knew it. I knew it. I told y'all I'm a genius. It's like, no, I just figured because he worked there.
It's a good export of goods.
I'm sure. You get a discount and everything there, so I'd be going there all the time too.
Yeah, it helps.
It's just like me working at King Soopers, you know. I just since I work there, I just buy all my stuff there before I go home.
No doubt. And like, yeah, it's definitely a lot easier too when, you know, you're just there, you know.
Exactly.
You know, you're heading home, you're on your way out, you just grab something, you know, it's yeah, it saves a lot of time.
You see everything too.
find some interesting buys.
Have you noticed how like that you're not a customer exactly anymore? How you see things differently?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. It's like one thing I mean, one thing I really got in the mind of though is like, you know, looking at it like a customer, because that's the one thing they try to teach us or tell us, you know, is like, especially like, you know, setting up like shelvings and stuff, you know, like, or like end caps, you know, to kind of look at it as like a customer, like, would I buy that, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, you know, I definitely, it is different, you know, being like, because I know like all the, you know, like the instant, like I know I can look up top and find what I'm looking for, you know, instead of, you know, it's not on the shelf. Oh shit, it's out. You know, I can look up. It's probably like up there somewhere. But, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, there are different things, but it's in. I'm like in between. But yeah, you definitely learn things and see things differently because obviously you're there all day and shit.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I whenever I started working King Soopers, I was like pulling off the signs. I'm like, damn, bro, they really just fucking make yellow signs and say it's a sale. Oh my. I didn't say that. But
yeah, I'm not sure how it is with like, you know, between King Soopers and Walmart. But yeah, it's like for us, though, a lot of the stuff is like, for the most part, you know, most stuff is already like in the system, you know. It's just like something you got to like print out or, you know, it's like
that's exactly what it is like us in the system. But it'll be the same price, bro. Like it would have a different sign, white. It would be the same price, and then they just have a yellow one over it. Said sale.
Interesting.
That shit always caught me. I was like, "Are you serious? I've been lied to my whole life." Like that's how I felt. I felt like I was like lied to my whole life, bro. I thought everything was really on sale. When they literally just price it however the fuck they want to.
They just slap sale on it.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, yeah, they all do this shit. This is ridiculous. That shit blew my mind, bro. It really blew my mind. I was like, yep, they've been lying to us. They've been lying to us.
Those busting it wide open right now.
Straight up, man. I'm telling you, they just put prices on the bitch. This shit ain't even that price, bro. And they call it a sale. It might be a bigger sale than last time.
See, and that's what's crazy now too, though. Like, especially now with like, you know, all the inflation that's going on and stuff. It's, oh yeah, you're gonna stand it now.
I'm a stand.
Okay, me too. 19.
Damn, 16.
You know,
I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, I get that. With all the inflation stuff, yeah, it's wild. You know, just like how much, you know, things are going up. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. What's gas at right now? Almost $4.
I've seen, you know, past 4. Yeah, it's wild. It sucks ass.
Yeah, fuck.
It's expensive. Hit me.
I'm gonna hit 2.
Yes. I'll stand.
Me too.
Very good.
20.
19. Cards. Oh man, who's blowing me up?
I was like, what the heck is that noise? I'm stunned.
It must be the headmeister.
The headmeister.
The headmeister.
Ah, okay. Think I know who that is.
My dad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Damn it. You're standing? Hit me. Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, well, let me double check. Yes, okay. You good? You stand? 20.
20.
Ooh.
1-1-1.
Yes.
So you won 1, I won 1, and then we had a draw.
Sorcery. Witchcraft, I think.
I'll be working wizardry, bro.
You stand in there.
I'm gonna hit.
I'll stand.
Oh, okay. Well then. I'm gonna hit.
Yeah, is that the Buster low?
No.
All right.
I'm thinking. I'm gonna hit. Ooh.
Not even. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm not getting that far right now. Because I'm like, fuck. You must have a pretty high number. I'm about to hit again. Fuck, I busted.
Where were you at?
23.
Interesting. Okay, I see. 17.
Damn.
Did you beat that at one point?
I would have tied you with the last card. Damn. That would have been, I should have just stand it.
Now we know.
All right, here we go. What are we sitting at?
About an hour and one.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe after this one.
Hit me. You standing? Are you standing? Dang.
Hit me. It sounded like you busted already, but hit me.
I busted. I looked at it almost.
Okay, it'll do. 7. Oh no, 18. Cool.
I had 22.
Huzzah! Take that to the bank. All right, that'll do.
All right, y'all. Till next time.
Thank y'all for watching. If y'all like these conversations, let us know by liking, sharing, subscribing, telling your friends. If you want to come on, please let us know. We'd love to have you. It's always a good time.
All that good stuff. Let us know.
Like ditto. Y'all have a good one. Peace and love. Check out all the previous episodes, the next episodes. Stay tuned.
Till next time. See you next week.
Be there or be square.
Round yourself up, buddy.